Hey, everybody. Welcome to the True Crime Squad. Sorry, a little hoarse
How you
there.
doing?
Doing all right. I'm Christy Brower here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Katie Weaver. Hey, Katie.
Hello.
How's it going?
Well, it's going just fine. Nothing
That,
super exciting to report here. I don't know.
oh, well, there's usually some pig or dog story to
Right?
follow up with. So I was just waiting for that.
There's not a whole lot happening, believe it or not. It's pretty laid back here right now.
I'm impressed.
Well, except for the big hole that the dogs chewed in the couch. There is that, but
Oh, well, see, I knew there would be something. The dogs chewed a big hole in your couch?
I made a TikTok about it. Yeah, they
Oh, yes, you did. I
mhm.
forgot. I did see that.
Yeah,
Boy,
they're basically evil. But anyway, other than that, all is well.
glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Me too. Doing great. Still addicted to Highland crystals on TikTok. Was just
Oh, yeah.
only just a few minutes ago. It was my turn for my scoop to be pulled that I bought, and so I was waiting patiently, hoping they would get it pulled so I could video it before the show. And they did about 15 minutes before. So I was
Excellent.
pretty pleased about that. If you haven't seen Highland crystals on TikTok, I mean, listen, if you're a crystal person, I'm not sure if you want to go see it or if you don't, because once you do, you never stop.
This is like gambling for crystals.
It kind of is. I mean, you definitely do pay actual real money, and then they scoop out of this agitator, and we've watched bunches of them, and Highland Crystals definitely has the best quality and the least amount of like fake stuff. And yeah, I cannot stop watching them. And I just ordered today my second scoop. I cannot stop. So
no,
if you're a TikToker and a crystal person, I mean, proceed with caution. Oh, Amy, yeah, I may be waiting for 3 scoops to come in.
Yes, Amy. I get it. I'm waiting for 4 scoops to come. So I hear you. 100%.
I got my first one today. It came today. So it's very exciting. And yeah, it is. It is. It's like gambling for crystals.
It is. Because you don't know what you're going to get.
No, you don't. I got this really nice rose quartz heart. You can't really see it very well, but it's actually a really nice one in my order today. I was really pleased about that. And this really neat, this is a very pale, but I think it's really pretty. It is a rainbow fluorite tower. That's really cool.
Gorgeous.
And then I have a green aventurine heart that I really like. You can't probably see it, but it has a lot of really nice flash to it. Because aventurine does have a sparkle.
Flash, yeah.
Yeah, so that's some of what I got. And so yeah, you guys know me and my addiction to stones and stuff. And so I've been having a lot of fun with that.
I love it. I cannot wait for my scoops to come. Scott had already, scooped me in watching these. His came from Meow. Meow, that's correct, Crystal.
Oh, yes, from Meow.
He already had ordered 3 scoops before I ever discovered Highland, and now I've ordered 4 scoops.
Amanda, it is Highland_crystals.
On TikTok.
On TikTok. Yeah. Oh, Amy says Marcia is her favorite. I like them all. The hosts are cute as hell, really fun and funny, and I mean, if you're a stone person, you're gonna love it.
You are.
You're probably gonna have trouble. In today's scoop, I got a red jasper sphere that's about this big. That in itself is worth more than what I paid for the whole scoop.
Easily. So, easily. Yep.
Was pretty.
I mean, it is a bargain. It is a bargain.
It is. Yeah. If you know anything about crystals, you know that it is definitely a bargain. I'm going to do some videos.
And they're real. I'm seeing others on there that have a lot of stuff like opalite and other crystals
Like
that aren't
dyed
real at
glass,
all. They're just
or
glass,
just
like
quartz
cherry
that
glass,
are dyed
cherry
like really
quartz.
bright colors that are
Yeah.
not real.
But these guys don't do that. Their stuff is real.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. I was waiting
Yes.
with bated breath. Oh, Amy got a big skull today. I got a skull today too, but mine's a littler one, but it's a really nice yellow calcite one. It's real pretty.
I have a skull like this big that I bought for my husband a few years ago that cost me $20.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, truly, anyway. I could go on and on.
because
But I
those are
did
hand
pull up
carved.
the TikTok of the dogs chewing on the couch. Should we share
Oh,
it?
can we see it, please?
Yes. Well, I'd like to. I'm trying to share the screen.
I would love for you to
I'm
at any
kind of
moment.
frozen. There we go. Okay, hold on. I will get my shit together here. Okay.
Okay.
I know. Nobody's gonna know.
They're gonna know.
How? No.
Oh dear.
How would they know? How would they know?
I can't. I can't.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wow. Just wow.
This is what I live with. Yeah. So of course I had to make a video of that before I fixed it, but you know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Frankie, that was the couch.
That was the couch, yeah. To be fair, that was a whole one of the pigs tore in the couch over the winter that had been sewn back up. And they managed to chew it back open and now get it big enough to get their heads through so that they can like really do some. So mostly Lucas sticks his head all the way through that and then just keeps yanking his head out with fluffing going everywhere, fluffing, stuffing, while Bruno stands by and barks. So, you know.
Oh my goodness.
Right. While they're so cute, that how mad can you possibly be? Anyway.
If that was my couch, pretty mad.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a serious FU couch. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
It's not a nice couch, luckily. But yeah.
I have to say, though, that may place Luca and Bruno on the FOS list for today.
Oh, straight at the top. You betcha.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of, so this is our Wednesday night case update show, and we're going to start with the very top of the FOS list.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's least favorite insanity TV host. I don't even know what to call it. Alex Jones. Alex Jones, if you are aware at all of him and his crazy InfoWars show, you might know that he's being sued for millions and millions and millions of dollars by the parents of the children who were killed in the Sandy Hook school shooting 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is round 2, isn't it? He lost a big case last month.
Well, yeah. Now, this is about the actual settlement. He's lost the case.
Okay.
He refused to show up in court when they were suing him.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just won on a default judgment because he wouldn't even show up. So now they're working on the actual settlement and how much the judge is going to award them.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has actually said, and there were 26 elementary school children murdered in that shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And he has said for a long time now that was fake.
Mm-hmm.
Those were crisis actors, don't you know? And that these incredibly traumatized and grieving families were lying.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the okay, let me just... So he's really had, quite a comeuppance because he has been forced to admit that he knows that the Sandy Hook shooting was in fact real.
Mm-hmm.
And what did he say? You said it very well. What did he say, Katie?
I still have it pulled up. Let me open it.
Please tell us.
Because I feel like it needs to be quoted directly. Oh, good Lord. I have Alex Jones and Alec Murdaugh up, so I had to get to the correct one.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, all of the Alexes are a hard pass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow. I think I have too many windows open because
oh, no.
everything is taking a lot too long. Okay. Essentially, he said that.
What, that he
Okay,
may have
sorry.
misspoken or some.
Yeah, sorry, I froze there. I wasn't sure if I froze. He said that he may have inadvertently hurt their feelings, and he's sorry about that.
Oh, here it is.
Hurt their feelings.
Yeah. I unintentionally took part in things that did hurt these people's feelings, and I'm sorry
Yeah.
for that. That's what
Yeah.
he said. Inadvertently. He has been screaming about this on his dumb show for 10 years. Inadvertently. My ass.
Hurt their feelings?
Yeah.
No, bro. You do not get to go there.
No, you definitely don't. You have accused them of lying about the deaths of their little children. What an asshole.
And because of that, they have had death threats. They have been harassed by his idiot followers. They have had all kinds of horrific treatment because of the things that he has said for years. But not only that, it's not just Sandy Hook. He has said this about practically every shooting that has happened since.
Yeah. They're all just crisis actors, don't you know? Yeah, as people are laying dead in pools of blood. Yeah, sure. Such an asshole. The other thing that happened that was so funny. He, in his original deposition, had said that he didn't have any text messages on his phone in relation to Sandy Hook, that there weren't any. The parents' attorney had requested those things, and he said they didn't exist, that he didn't have any texts. And then a couple of weeks ago, his attorney accidentally sent the parents' attorney all of the info off his phone. Pages and pages and pages and pages of it. By accident. And
guess what was there?
A whole lot of shit about Sandy Hook. Imagine that. And so he was confronted in court and did that. He had said those never even existed. You should have seen the mental gymnastics he was trying to go through to not admit that. But yeah, it's too late, dum-dum, because they now have all of that given to him by his attorney. And, so now they know that the attorney and he lied about not having anything when in fact they have all of it.
He asked him a few times, do you know what perjury is? He didn't answer.
Because you have committed it, you dumb ass.
He said to the attorney, well, I guess this is your Perry Mason moment.
Yes, he did. And boy, that pissed off the judge. And the judge said, you need to answer that question. So, right now, I would think that the judge has got their calculator out, calculating how many millions of dollars he's going to award the Sandy Hook parents for this ridiculous bullshit.
But yeah.
She, yes, I forgot. The judge is a woman. Yeah. But it is nice to see Alex Jones get his comeuppance. This is so ridiculous and hurtful. How could you do such a terrible thing to the parents of children who were killed in a school shooting? Like, what kind of hateful, horrible human? And I know he is a hateful, horrible human for many reasons, but to do that to grieving parents, like, it's
and
just
then to do it over and
evil.
over and over. That was his first big moment of clout, and then he's continued to do it over all of these years of shootings. For what? Just for more clout, for more followers that'll buy shit from his stupid store?
Yeah, to sell all his weird, creepy supplements and crap.
Yeah, the cruelty is unthinkable.
It is.
He
It's
said
so
that because they're suing for $150 million.
Yeah.
He says that more than $2 million will completely bankrupt him.
Well,
his
good.
attorney is asking for $8 each. $8 for each family.
Oh my God. I'm afraid after what I saw today that that judge is going to double it from what the parents have asked for.
Yeah,
He's
she's
such a liar.
Yeah.
But it was didn't he come out and say it's just a character he plays on his show? He tries to say that, but if you listen to him talk in regular life, no, it isn't. That is who he is. I am really surprised he has never had an aneurysm. Have you ever watched him? How red and oh my God, he looks like his head's just going to pop right off.
The way he screams and gets all wound up, it's scary.
It is. It's really scary.
And then the hypocrisy over this last year, I believe on the first of the year, he and his wife ended up in a domestic and she got arrested.
Yes.
And he was so pissed at the press that they covered that his family is requesting privacy at this time.
Yeah.
Really, Alex? Are you even kidding me right now?
You think you deserve privacy or anyone's respect at all for the shit that you have done? No. Top of the FOS list for the week, Alex Jones.
Absolutely. Yeah, Colleen, he was real red in court. Agreed. Yep.
He was. Yep. Well, we do have some sort of vague but possibly interesting things going on in the Daybell Vallow case. Katie, you want to tell us about it?
We do. So yesterday, we just go and look at their court docket every so often just to see if anything has changed, because sometimes it has. So yesterday we noticed that on the 30th, a whole bunch of stuff was filed. Actually, I'm going to start with the other one. And these are pretty much the same on Lori's and Chad's. So a motion to intervene, a declaration in support of motion, a memorandum in support of motion, a motion to unseal, a declaration in support of motion, a memorandum in support of motion, a motion for injunctive relief, declaration in support of motion, memorandum in support of motion. All of that was filed on the 30th. What does it mean? Well, we don't know, but there's a whole bunch of activity happening.
It's something in support of whatever Archibald has filed on Lori's behalf.
Yep.
But the only difference is that in Lori's iCourt portal stuff, there is an order to transport for a hearing that is coming up.
I'm not done. There's
more. You're not done. Oh, I'm sorry.
This is just the beginning. This was all that was filed on the 30th.
Right.
Then, moving forward, now we're seeing that there is a motion hearing set for Chad on the 16th at 9 a.m. Eastern time, or 9 a.m. Mountain time. Well, on Lori's, we see that she's got the same thing, except for that she has an order to transport, which would be, we would assume, to the Fremont County Courthouse from the Madison County Jail. They're about 20 miles apart. So this is the question. Are we going to see Lori and Chad in the same courtroom? Those two fools haven't seen each other in years. Yeah. And it's possible that they will actually be in court together at the same time.
So we don't know what kind of access we're going to have.
Yeah.
It might be after the fact, but whatever it is, we will be sharing it with you. Because aren't we all dying to see these two fools in the same courtroom?
Maybe we should go. If it's not going to be streamed, maybe this is one time we bend our own rules and we go.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you think we should go?
It does make me wonder if we should. We could.
Yep.
Because this doesn't appear to be sealed. There's nothing that says that this is sealed. So, yeah, maybe we should go. Maybe we are going on location.
Yeah. I'll sneaky like. Yeah.
And then we could live tweet it or
We probably could live tweet it. Yeah.
Do it in our Facebook group maybe or something. Or maybe one of each. Yeah.
Yeah.
Janet, please go. I'd drive from Seattle if I had time.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
So maybe we will, because, we can see a lot more if you go in the courtroom, because we'll be able to
feel it too.
Yeah. Like what's going to, yeah. And we don't know what this is about, but obviously the two defense attorneys are in agreement on something. And it appears they're going to be in court at the same time. Okay, fine, we'll go.
The injunctive relief is really curious. The whole thing is really curious.
It's very curious, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the minor hearings are in Fremont. As far as we're
Yes.
aware, everything is happening in Fremont until the big show. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, until the trial. So,
Yep.
all right. We're hearing you. You want us to
Okay.
go, so we're going.
We're going. We're going to court.
Oh my
Ay,
gosh.
ay, ay.
Right? This is going to be super interesting. But we will
Mhm.
figure out the best way to share what's happening with you all, and we'll let you know.
Mhm. We'll go, and then we'll return to my house and drink wine. That's what's going to happen.
Probably. And maybe we can just live stream from there as we do that and tell you.
There you
It's
go.
on the 16th of August, so it's in 13 days.
Yep. Which is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yep. At 9 a.m. Okay.
Very
It's
interesting.
on like Donkey Kong.
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
Okay.
I like
So
it.
that's all we have in Daybell. Just
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's just
that's it.
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to get there very early, right? We're probably gonna have to go
Mhm.
stand in line. So
Well,
we
you
can
know,
get into the courtroom.
they've said that, but the last couple of hearings, there were practically no one there.
Oh, good. Well,
So
shh, don't tell anyone so we
Yeah.
can get in.
Ixnay. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just speaking of bullshit couple dynamics, let's talk a little bit about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. They are still fighting this stuff.
Mhm.
One thing that has come out that
Mhm.
just freaking killed me is
Mhm.
that Amber Heard's lawyers are saying that Johnny Depp has erectile dysfunction,
Mhm.
and that contributed to their violent marriage.
Mm.
I mean, what?
Okay. Millions of men have erectile dysfunction. One.
Right?
Are you
And,
guys trying to get sued some more?
yeah, would this maybe not also be defamation? I mean, Johnny Depp is 59. Could he have erectile dysfunction? Yeah.
Sure.
Does that mean that he's violent? No, it proves nothing. All this is
Nothing
meant
at
to
all.
do is to defame him yet
Right.
again. I mean, how
It's
many
like they
times
just
is he going to have to sue her?
Want to keep getting sued.
Yeah.
Also, and this may be some reverse misogyny, so I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to. Maybe it's just you, Amber.
It's situational. It's situational
Mhm.
erectile dysfunction. It's just rude as hell, is what
He's a rambile dysfunction, is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does HIPAA apply to attorneys and ex-wives? I believe it does not. Yeah.
No, it does not. So, as usual, it's getting nastier and nastier between these two.
But we
But
also know
that
that
just
they
killed me.
tried to, and some things that were thrown out of court the first time for being irrelevant was Johnny's team trying to bring to light that she used to be an escort.
Oh, yes.
Or no,
Yes.
she used to be a stripper, and they were trying to indicate that she was an
Yeah.
escort, something
Something
along
like
those
that.
lines. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think you're right, Jessica.
Hmm.
She says, I think Amber will not let this all go because then she will no longer matter. Yep.
Right. She's not going to
All
get.
of her relevance is right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's totally it. Yeah.
Yep.
So found that pretty hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Or just really screwed up. I don't even know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know exactly what to
Well,
call it other than.
To be clear, I don't care if she was a stripper or an escort. Janet says it's both. I don't care if she was or not. That's irrelevant to me.
Right.
That's just work. That's just work. And it doesn't matter. But there's
Right.
just all this going back and forth. His lawyer was interviewed earlier or last week as well. Camille was. And she said that they had no intention of going back after her for anything until she filed against them again. And they went, all right, well, then here we go. So now they, of course, have filed, against her team. Oh, God, this is a mess. It's such a mess.
It is. It's never going to end. It's never going to end. That's
apparently not.
Apparently, no. Katie, why don't you tell us about Robert Mr. Crimo,
Oh,
the
God.
Highland Park shooter, there's some movement in his case.
Yeah. So he was in court now, and he has pled not guilty to not 1, not 2, not 3, but 117 felony charges.
My God.
Pled not guilty to the lot of them. His folks were in court. He's in court. God, he's tiny. He's tiny. He is so skinny.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He does not look well. He does not look well at all.
Yeah, not at all. So court was actually really fast and as fast as it can be with 117 crimes. But at any rate, he only faces life in prison if convicted. This isn't even a death penalty case. I'm not sure they have death penalty in that state. Actually,
I
think they don't. But at any rate, he's facing life in prison. Oh well, weird. But anyway, so he did plead not guilty. Also, there has been an article in the Chicago Sun-Times sharing some information that was received by them from a private investigator who, here's what's happening in a lot of these crimes. The second their name rolls out, people will jump on to as much social media as they can find for that person and screenshot as much as they can because those accounts will disappear really fast.
Right.
I believe probably it's the FBI or other authorities that pull them down. Maybe sometimes it's family, but the accounts always go away quick. The thing is with Crimo, he had a lot of accounts.
He did.
In some obscure places that didn't disappear as quickly. But the account that this was from Awake 47, or someone named Awake 47, sorry, who they believed to be him, on a site called Documenting Reality. And he had said he's posted a bunch of really racist things there about getting rid of Black people, calling Jews the R word, saying that Orientals should be wiped out. Like I'm paraphrasing. It's terrible stuff. I'm not going to say, but at any rate, a bunch of things like that have been screenshotted, and of course were passed on to the FBI, but they probably already had them. But initially the authorities were like, well, I mean, we don't know that this was a hate crime or this wasn't anything, or it was, that there was any reason to think that this was driven by any kind of ideology. I think that's bullshit.
Total
I think
bullshit.
It's complete bullshit. I think that looking at the kinds of events this man was attending, the groups that he was with online, the stuff that he's posting, I think it's obviously driven by hateful ideologies, and that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's ever going to be acknowledged, but there's plenty of proof starting to roll around out there that this is exactly who he was. Also, Highland Park is known to be full of Jewish people.
Yes.
And he went to that parade and shot it up. Kind of like the guy who went into the grocery store that was primarily Black people. I mean,
Right.
come on.
He knew where he was going and he knew who he was going to shoot.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, he didn't have to, because this was, a public event where there were a lot of people, they're like, well, he couldn't really target anybody. Yeah, he could. He was targeting a neighborhood. I mean, come on.
Yep.
So was the Buffalo grocery store shooter.
Exactly. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, Colleen said he's so dumb, left the murder left the murder weapon registered to himself at the scene. Yeah. Yeah. Makes you wonder if his family's that way too. I don't know for certain, but I have an inkling that's true, just judging by things his dad has said in the news in the past, or in his campaign when he ran for mayor. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He was a real fringe wackadoodle who ran for mayor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just sickening. Absolutely sickening.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Awful. Okay. Let's see. Let's talk about Dylan Rounds.
Yeah.
I wish we had anything to share. Dylan Rounds has now been missing for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
I believe his 20th birthday is tomorrow.
Yeah, it just came and went, or yeah,
Or yeah, it just happened
we just passed it.
just recently. So
Mhm.
he's now been missing for 2 months. He's turned 20 with no one around,
Mm-hmm.
and they still have nada.
Nothing.
His mother continues to say that she's absolutely convinced that there's been foul play. She doesn't have any hope at this point that they're going to find him alive, but
No.
still haven't found his body.
Yep.
There have been a couple of arrests of people in his periphery for other things, mostly weapons charges, but there's no indication, at least publicly, that that's going to lead to anything in relation to him.
Yep.
So, yeah, right, Renee? So sad. Where is this boy? Where is he? They've searched and searched and searched, but that is such a huge and desolate place. It's,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't really know he was missing for a few days.
Yeah.
So his body could have been taken somewhere else. They don't even know where to look.
Right. It does make you have to wonder if they've been looking in entirely the wrong area
Yeah.
and assuming, going, well, I mean, surely he'd be out here somewhere, and yeah, this would be a good place to hide a body considering how vast it is and how cavernous it is, and maybe that's not at all where his body is.
Yeah, there was definitely time between when he actually went missing to when it was realized that he was missing.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever did this, they
Mhm.
definitely had time to move him.
Yeah. Agreed,
Yes,
Jessica. Dylan may never be found, as the police in the area really botched up from the beginning. Yeah, they
they
did.
did. They just didn't. They did that thing that police do that screw up these cases, which is, oh, he's a young man. He's probably just off partying or with a girl. He'll come back.
Yep.
Even though his vehicle was there,
Mm-hmm.
even though his boots were there was blood. Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on. It's been handled so badly.
Yep.
Yeah, Colleen, I think you're right. This is going to take a confession to find him. I think
Yep.
so. Yeah.
For sure.
So, just lots of love to his family still, and we just
Yep.
continue to watch this case, but it is eking into that land of turning into a cold case. And
Yep.
I hate that. And the police will probably not admit that, but that's really how it's looking.
Yep. Yep.
Right, GB? Yeah. This is so frustrating about missing persons cases that go unsolved. When
Yeah.
you know that the very beginning, when they first went missing, is when, things were the most crucial, and that's when they paid the least amount of attention.
Yep.
Right. And no body, no case. They can't prosecute. How are they going to, it just doesn't work to prosecute somebody if they don't know where their
No.
body is.
Nope. Well, I was thinking in relation to this case about Daniel Robinson,
Yes.
the geologist that went missing in Arizona, whose dad is still out there searching every day, searching that desert every damn day. It's been more than a year.
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Right. Which
Yeah.
really tells you that his body probably isn't where they think it is, isn't where he was another one that,
Mhm.
where did that body go?
Totally. Totally. And his poor dad is still out there searching. It's like he doesn't really know what else to do,
What I can't imagine, like, what could you possibly do
I have
other
no
than keep
idea.
looking?
Right?
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's, he doesn't live anywhere near here. He's moved here to look for his son, but his whole life is now here, just looking
Yeah,
every day.
in that Arizona desert.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. It's absolutely awful.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Oh, speaking of awful, Alex Murdaugh, Katie. What's going on with our good friend Alex?
This past year, there was one really shithole judge, and that was for, good Lord, who basically adopted the defendant as his
Oh,
grandson.
Kyle Rittenhouse, not friend of
Thank
the
you.
show.
Not
High
friend of
on
the
the
show, Kyle
FOS
Rittenhouse.
list, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yes,
Yes.
but man, have we seen some amazing judges.
Mhm.
They've really outnumbered the bullshit. Oh, well, there was that guy that pulled the gun too, but anyway,
Lord. Yeah.
that's whatever. I am loving the judge in the Murdaugh case because this judge is done with bullshit as well. So there was a request by the defense to put a gag order on this case to seal the legal filings and to keep people who aren't involved in the case barred from discussion outside the courtroom. Like they really wanted to put this down, right? Because Alex is, in a race with Robert Crimo for the most charges in that whole freaking world. But
Mhm.
anyway, he said no. The judge said no.
Good.
He said the defendant does have a right to a fair trial, but the public also has a right to know.
Right? He doesn't
said-
have any right to privacy at this point.
That's right. He said the right of the defendant to a fair trial must be balanced against these rights, and the issuance of such an order would likely constitute the improper closure of the courtroom. Yep. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Not because I want to hear more about Alex Murdaugh. I would love it if I never heard about him again. But that's not going to happen. We're going to keep hearing more. And here we go. But truly, I think that that shouldn't be. It's just like I feel like all these sealed filings and things going on in the Daybell case are totally wrong and inappropriate. In this case,
they
it would be
are.
too. So good on
Yeah.
the judge.
Yeah.
Wallace said, no gag order unless your last name is butt or boob. Right? Oh, we have laughed so hard about that segment.
If you haven't seen that episode was that Monday? I think that was Monday's episode.
It was Tuesday.
Or Tuesday's episode. Please do yourselves a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Butt arrested in boob murder. That's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch the episode. It is
Mm-hmm.
hilarious.
You'll understand.
Yeah.
Wow, Janet. Janet says Ariel Castro had 997 charges.
I don't
Yes,
doubt
he
it.
is the number one FOS
He
for
is,
sure.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That is
Well,
crazy.
for as many years as he held those girls, I'm sure.
These guys are just child's play.
Right.
Yeah.
Boy. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, let's talk about Yasser Syed. So
yeah,
we covered this case probably at least a year ago when he was caught. So Yasser Syed is accused of killing his own teenage daughters. And after they were murdered, he went on the run for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
This was an honor killing, which I hate that word. But his daughters were dating American boys and behaving like American teenagers, because they live in America. Sarah, who was 17, and Amina, who was 18.
Yeah.
They were killed in his cab, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A cab he borrowed.
Yes, a cab he borrowed, shot and killed them in the cab, and then went on the run for 10 years. Was finally caught last year, I think, ish.
Mm-hmm.
And he is now headed to trial.
Yeah. He was only, like 30 miles from where, or less, from where those murders occurred?
Yes.
When they found him. He wasn't very far.
Yeah. No, he wasn't at all. He had been following them and recording what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was creepy and abusive. He also had sexually assaulted these daughters. He had been accused of that prior. The girls were known to be afraid of him.
Yeah.
And that they were unsafe with him.
Well, they had turned him in for sexually assaulting them, and it didn't go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Sarah had called 911, and she said, "My father shot me. I'm dying. I'm dying." And then they hear her take her last breath, and she dies on the phone.
Yeah.
Amina was shot twice. Sarah was shot 9 times.
Yeah.
the police, of course, couldn't find them because they were like under an overpass in a cab.
Yeah.
When he shot them.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's finally going to face the music.
Yeah.
Because he is standing trial for first-degree murder for them.
Mhm.
But it does look as though they're not going to seek the death penalty for him.
No.
They're looking for life without parole.
Mhm.
He's been writing letters to the judge in his case.
Yes.
While in jail, claiming his innocence.
Mhm.
Pretty damning when your own daughter calls 911 and says, "My father shot me. I'm dying, and then dies on the phone."
Yeah. And then you flee.
And then you flee for 10 years.
Yeah. That's what innocent people do. It's obvious. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, Cranky, they did catch him. They caught him about a year ago. We covered it when they caught him. But now he is finally, it might have been more than a year too. I can't. We are now over 600 episodes. And I tell you what, sometimes I have to go search our YouTube channel to find out what we've covered and when, because it's so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that allowed to what? Write letters to the judge? I guess so. He's been doing it.
He's been doing it. I don't know if they're getting to the judge, but somebody knows what those letters are saying. Yeah, Nick Alaverdian took a page out of his book, right? Except that Yasser Syed didn't even leave the U.S. He was not that far away.
No.
The whole time.
It's actually what kept him safe, I think, because people really thought that he had gone back to Egypt.
Right.
That was part of why they didn't find him, because they were thinking he wasn't even in the U.S.
Yeah, and he was the whole time.
Yeah.
It's so awful. But I'm glad that I'm glad they have him now. Yeah, family were hiding him, right? Right, because in some of his beliefs, what he'd done wasn't wrong. Which, sorry, but this is the U.S. and you can't kill your kids here.
No.
Well, I mean, you can. People do it all the time, unfortunately. But you will hopefully face consequences. Yeah. And in this case, he will.
There's a little bit of news on Nick Alaverdian, too.
Oh, is there? What's that?
Yeah, just that he appealed the bail. He was given no bail before while they try to get him extradited. And he appealed that and has lost again. I think Scotland has just about had an ass full of this guy.
I mean, I don't understand why they don't just load him up and haul him over to the U.S. and dump him on, I don't even know, the Capitol steps, at the Statue of Liberty, whatever. Like, take this asshole back. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So, we'll just keep an eye on that. One of these days, we're going to be able to say that he has been extradited or in process of being extradited, but it's really taken a while.
It really has, way more than it should have.
Well, part of it is that he's in trouble in Scotland too. This isn't only for the extradition. He threatened hospital medics in Scotland, and he has some charges for that as well. So he's in deep water up to his neck, but yeah.
Well, let's talk about Carolyn Bryant Donham.
Yeah.
Also high on my FOS list, and I'm not usually interested in beating up sick old women. However, in this case, I would make an exception.
So, of course, this is the Emmitt Till accuser, we'll say that, accuser, who is the person who triggered the lynching of Emmitt Till all these years ago. And we know that just recently, an unserved arrest warrant for Carolyn Bryant Donham, was found that was never served. And they said that they didn't want to bother her with it because she had small children.
My God.
So she's just kind of been living under the radar all of these years.
Emmitt Till was also a child, for hell's sakes.
The Till family wants her to be served. They feel like that arrest warrant should still be served on her. But some reporters have finally found her and gotten a few pictures of her. Here's what we know about her at this point. She's 88 years old. She has not been seen or photographed since 2004. She lives in an apartment community in Kentucky with her dog. She is legally blind. She has cancer. She's on hospice. And essentially is, old, frail, and dying. Is that going to be the next reason why she doesn't get served?
Right.
Is it because we don't want to bother her because she's old, frail, and dying?
And let's just be perfectly honest. We don't want to bother her because she's white.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
Yeah. Yep. She has said
Renee.
nothing in the news, of course, but that's pretty much what we know of her at this point.
Yeah. Renee says she looks like one of those old men off the Muppets. Yes, she does.
She does.
We have a little experience with this because our grandfather went to prison for sexual abuse of a family member.
Mm-hmm.
He was given 5 to 10 years in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He served 6 months and they released him because he was old and sick.
Mm-hmm.
And what? That honestly allowed him to reoffend. Even as an old sick man, he reoffended.
Yep.
So that makes me absolutely sick.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't care how old and sick she is. What she did led to the lynching of that child.
Yep.
She deserves her comeuppance now because she didn't get it then. Doesn't mean that just because she got old that she doesn't deserve her consequences. She most definitely does.
Absolutely, she does. Also, I had no idea that you could only be charged with shit if it was convenient for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How interesting that,
that's even a thing. It's not a thing.
It is not a thing.
Yeah.
No, not a thing at all.
No.
So,
yeah.
I really hope they serve the warrant. I do.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and she lied. Correct, Colleen. She lied.
God, lied.
She lied, and her lies to get some attention from her husband, I guess, resulted in someone's murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful. Awful, awful. That it ever worked out like this at all.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Jenna Holm.
Yeah.
So Jenna Holm, we've done a couple of episodes on Jenna and her situation. This was a local case to us, happened back in May of 2020. She had a car accident out on the Bone Road super early in the morning when it was very, very dark. And as we know, police came to her situation without their lights on, without identifying themselves. They were all shining lights at her and she was having a crisis. She was holding a machete.
Mm-hmm.
She raised that machete to the police. She did not touch anyone with it.
No.
In the midst of that happening, when she raised the machete to the police, she was tased. And while she was laying on the ground, tased, a police officer ran across the road in front of another police officer who was driving like he was on fire in a dark road out in the middle of the country. And the police officer crossing the road was hit and killed. It was a terrible, terrible thing that happened. Mm-hmm. But what did the Bonneville County Sheriff's Office do? Why, they accused Jenna Holm of being the reason that that officer was killed. And she sat for a year in jail before she was able to bond out. So those involuntary manslaughter charges were eventually dropped.
Yeah.
But she is still facing battery with a deadly weapon, assault with a deadly weapon charges, which I think is so stupid. She never assaulted anyone. She held up that's all she did.
Yeah.
Yes, and she was on the other side of the road. She had nothing to do with the accident where the officer was killed. She was laying on the ground being tased.
Mm-hmm. But also, when they approached her without lights on and without identifying themselves in the dark,
Yeah.
and she held up a knife because she was scared, that's what she's being charged for.
Yeah. So what's out in the
What would
news,
any of them have done?
right? She did have the right to defend herself. And she didn't harm anyone.
No, she didn't hurt anybody.
So she is taking a plea deal.
Yeah.
And we don't know exactly what the deal is yet, but that just came out in the news today that she is finally going to plead something to do with the assault charge that obviously was not an assault because she didn't actually harm anyone. So there's been some kind of a deal brokered between her attorney and the prosecutor. So we're just keeping an eye on that. And I'm just hoping for her sake that this is over soon.
Yeah.
Last year, after she was bonded out, her daughter, who was living with the daughter's dad in Las Vegas, fell into a swimming pool and drowned. She was resuscitated and lived on life support for a few weeks and died. And so Jenna has been through a lot.
A lot.
And she didn't deserve any of this bullshit. Right, Renee, being a woman, you just don't know. She could be really volatile, you know. She might be on her period. It's awful. Well, that's how they act. You know it is.
100%. 100%.
You know, so we'll see what happens. We'll keep you posted. But this is finally going to resolve for her. And a plea deal probably indicates that she's pleading to something more minor than what she's charged with, which she
hopefully,
shouldn't have been
because the
charged with
charge
it
is
at
a
all.
felony. So if she's pleading, hopefully she's pleading it down to a misdemeanor.
To a misdemeanor, yeah.
But I
So-
agree. She shouldn't. She shouldn't have been charged in any of this.
No,
But
it was such bullshit.
mhm.
All covering their own asses. I mean, the
Oh yeah.
officer that hit and killed the other officer didn't have his lights on, was driving way too fast. It was his fault. It was terrible. It was a terrible thing that happened. But the person driving the car and the person who ran across the road in front of the car are the people that were at fault in this situation.
Yep.
Not someone laying on the ground being tased.
And that's proved. That is found by the outside agency that took a look at this entire thing and did their own investigation for the sheriff's office. That's what they said. Yeah.
And the judge had to force them to turn over that report to the defense.
Yeah.
They were trying to refuse to turn it over.
It was a matter of HR, so they shouldn't have to share that.
Yeah. Bullshit.
But we do
And
want to
very
convict this
specifically-
woman of manslaughter. Yeah.
So we, keep an eye on this for Jenna.
Yeah.
We
A whole
just-
year was stolen from her,
Yes.
and then her daughter died right after.
Yeah.
A whole year that she could have been a mother was stolen from her.
It
Yep.
was. It was. So you
Yep.
know, we are really hoping for justice for Jenna in this situation.
100%. Yep.
Yeah. Katie, what do you have left?
I have
Can't-
Kristin Smart.
Oh, Kristin Smart. Yes.
And to be fair, this deserves, like 1,000 whole episodes of its own. But what's happening right now is the Kristin Smart trial is happening right now. So Paul Flores is the man that is accused of murdering her. And so what I wanted to share with you is just that some things that are coming out in court, some things that are being said. So a fellow student, Stephen Fleming, testified on Monday that Flores made other students feel weirded out by his strange behavior. He was also a student at their school, to be clear. This was at California Polytechnic State University. And she vanished in 1996. So Paul Flores is being charged with her murder, but his father, Ruben, is also being charged with helping hide her body.
Right.
So they are both in court. Fleming also said everyone in the dorms, they were weirded out by Paul. One particular incident where Fleming saw an incident between Smart and Paul. He said that he was standing a few feet inside of her dorm room talking at her, and she was in her dorm looking really uncomfortable. And he was standing over her desk, kind of, talking over her, and that her only escape route was the door, and she kept looking at the door, looking really uncomfortable. Another student, I will never get this name right, Teschendorf Nee Calvin, was Smart's roommate, and she said it was very much unlike Elizabeth to disappear for days at a time without contact.
Kristin,
yeah.
well, there's two. There's a Kristin Smart and an Elizabeth Smart.
Oh, did I say Elizabeth? Oh, I
You
did. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
why, though.
Oh, I still couldn't. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yeah, she said that never really happened until she vanished. She said it had been 4 evenings and she'd never done anything like that. It was way out of character. Anyway, people from the school talking about him and also about Kristin and what they are experiencing. So good Lord, Kristin disappeared on May 24th, 1996. She'd been to a party. She called her parents that night around 8 and left a voicemail, and that was the last time they'd heard from her. Paul Flores told investigators that he had accompanied her back to her dorm after the party. He said he left and walked to his own dorm at Santa Lucia Hall. He had a black eye while speaking to investigators at the time. See, they interviewed him way back then, and they couldn't pin anything on him at that point. He told them it happened after playing basketball, but they thought he was lying. And later, he changed his story and said it was actually while he was working on a truck. And then he got a lawyer after that. When they brought cadaver dogs, the dogs made their way to Flores's dorm and showed interest in a mattress on the side of the room, interestingly. And the handler said there was a strong possibility that a dead body had been in that room. Yeah.
Awful.
Something else we learned is that in 2016, the Daily Beast reported in 2016, that authorities had a chance to arrest Paul on rape charges prior to her disappearance. Women had come forward and said that he sexually assaulted them before she disappeared, and they hadn't done anything about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Sure, let's wait and give him some more time, see how many more people he's going to assault or kill.
Yep.
Terrifying.
So Ruben Flores was arrested in 2021 and charged with accessory of after the fact of a felony. So the prosecutors are saying that her body was buried under his deck for a certain amount of time and then were recently moved. They say there is damning evidence that a body has been buried in that location and then recently moved. Yeah. Yeah.
There is no bottom for these people.
There is no bottom. None. So that's what's out so far. There's a whole lot more coming, but it's so gross. Yep.
It is. It is. It's terrifying.
Yeah, after too. More sexual assaults from him after as well, Janet. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
But don't listen to the women, right? Don't listen to those women saying, this guy is assaulting people and we want, some justice here. Please get him off the street.
Yeah.
Apparently that's just hardly ever enough.
Nope.
Ugh.
Nope.
Well, that's everything we have for tonight. I did want to remind you, tomorrow night is the Psychic Hour at 7 p.m. Mountain, and it is now going to be airing in a different place. So if you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, you can click the join button right on the True Crime Squad YouTube channel and just sign up for the 99 cents a month Psychic Hour. You can join it there. Or if you are a patron or would like to become a patron, go to Patreon. Just search for True Crime Squad. You'll find us there. You can join There are 3 levels there. Those levels indicate how much bonus content you get, but it doesn't matter what level you join. All who have joined will also have access to the live stream. So you can see the live stream either in your Patreon account or on YouTube if you have joined our subscription there. So those are the ways that you can get the Psychic Hour now. Cranky, okay, thank you. You're waiting to get a PayPal. Gotcha. I've seen that some of you have joined in either place.
Yeah.
We will be live streaming, and it will be available after the fact in those places.
Yeah.
So if you can't watch live, it will still be there in Patreon if you can go to it later.
Yeah.
Or you can watch it on YouTube the same. But it will no longer be on our podcast stream. You will have to have joined in either of those 2 places to watch it on video. That's the only place to get the Psychic Hour.
Yep.
And tomorrow night is marching orders because it is the first Thursday of the month.
Yeah. If you have trouble, if you have tech issues or something's not working out, message us on our PayPal or on our, good Lord, message us on, I got PayPal now on the brain, cranky. Message us on Facebook. We will help you.
Yes, we will. Yes. And doesn't matter. So Spirit says, I didn't understand the difference between the $1 and the cold reading package. So we have 2 things on YouTube, 99 cents for the Psychic Hour. And then there's $4.99 if you want the cold read party. And if you want the cold read party, you automatically get the Psychic Hour.
Yeah.
But if you just want the Psychic Hour, all you got to do is sign up for the 99 cents. So just check it out. Go to our main page on YouTube, and you'll see there's just a button that says join. Click on that. Join either the 99 cent or $4.99, and that will give you access to the Psychic Hour every week.
Yep.
Or go over onto Patreon and sign up there. Either way, the cold read party is a live stream we do once a month where members can come and give us cases that give us cold cases that you're interested in, and we will do a reading on those cases just spontaneously on that show. But it's only available if you're a member of that subscription.
Yeah.
So we're trying not to make it confusing. So definitely, if you have questions, reach out to us on Facebook and we will help.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. That is everything we have got for tonight.
Yeah.
We, of course, will be back with the Psychic Hour tomorrow night, and then we will be back next week with more awesome episodes, more interesting cases coming our way. So be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment because that helps us to grow. And as always, you know it, we are the True Crime Squad. Have a good night.
Take care.